pizza, and other snacks that compete with more nutritious meals. Well, a little over a week ago, a school in a remote Chinese farming community opened its doors, and the celebration was especially poignant for a Minnesota family. Joining us are father and daughter, Gordie and Deb Ellis. They are this month's Global Volunteers. We are very happy to have you join us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, let's talk about this trip. Now, first of all, the two of you made this trip together along with your mom, your wife, Judy Ellis.
Right.
Correct.
So you all made this trip together, and this was a trip to, how do you say the
Anshang.
Anshang in China. And you were there for 3 weeks with Global Volunteers. Tell us about this project.
This was a 3-week program. We were the first team to go to Anshang to help build a school there. So when we went there, it was a hole in the ground. And then obviously last week they dedicated the school, so things have changed.
Yeah, so tell me, Gordie, what we're looking at there.
Well, right there, this is the construction site, and what we were doing there.
Are you mixing cement?
No, actually, right there we're pouring dirt into. They had some big holes that needed to be filled up before they could start with the foundations.
Okay, so it's pretty physical labor. You guys decided to go for something physical.
It was, yeah. I think that's changed now because they're done with the project. But when we were there, it was definitely physical.
Okay, and you stayed with some host families. What was that like? What were they like? For a lot of them, this was their first chance of meeting Westerners?
It was their first contact with Westerners, and other than the people at Global Volunteers that set up the program. So we were actually the first ones there that got to live with the people and work with them and do things their way, and it was just a fantastic experience.
Who were you there with, Gordie?
It was
your brother. He called you your brother.
Oh, in the picture there, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my older brother. He said that you were my brother, and we worked together, and we had a very good time.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
What about communicating, Deb? Was that a difficult thing?
It was, because we don't speak any Chinese, but we had translators the whole time, so it wasn't a problem. But we always had somebody on site who could help us communicate if we needed to. And, you know, hand signals go a long way, and laughter and smiles.
Right.
It all helps.
Let's see the finished product. We've got the school. I believe here it is. This is the dedication. Now, you probably, have you seen any pictures now?
I've seen pictures on the way, but I haven't seen a completed picture.
Wow. What do you think?
It's huge.
And you were part of that process.
It was rebar when we left. Just
Yeah.
rebar.
Wow. So that's quite a change from
Yeah.
when you guys were filling big holes of dirt. Let's also talk about, for instance, you did some work in Lima, Peru. What did you do there? What was the project there? And when was that?
That was in a children's home called the PPA, and that was right in Lima. We were there for 2 weeks, and there you can do labor projects. We split our days between half labor and then half just playing with, teaching the children. So you can do all children work, you can do all labor. They have a variety of programs for whatever people are comfortable doing.
The neat thing about working with Global Volunteers is you do things the way the people of the country do things. You don't tell them how to work. They have their own way of doing it, and you just help them do it. And
That's right.
That's the great thing.
That's the way that they work.
That's how you communicate, and it works out really well that way.
So you let the villagers and the locals basically take the lead, and basically you're there to help them. I understand. I learned that in my work in Costa Rica, and I did put in a call yesterday to Global Volunteers to ask them specifically about if they are going to be doing any work down south in New Orleans, of course, because of the hurricane, and they're a big part of long-term projects, but they think that perhaps down the road, I know, for instance, they do some work in Mississippi, so we'll be talking more about that in the oncoming weeks and months. And if you would like some more information on getting in touch with Global Volunteers, by the way, I want to thank both of you, Gordie and Deb Ellis, for coming on the show today and sharing your story.
Thank you.
This is how you can get a hold of Global Volunteers. Just log on to globalvolunteers.org, a very worthy organization. 8:19. We do weather on the 9s around here. Let's turn it over to Keith Marler.